Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today I think it's time for me to replace these older legacy emergency lighting units with some newer LED exit signs and emergency lights for the next setup. So let's go ahead and get started. So normally when I've done this in the past, I don't film it, but I thought it would be pretty cool to just document this and show how it's done because I don't post that much about emergency lighting. So let's go ahead and remove the faceplate of this sign, which you just push in here and slide down. And then we'll go ahead and remove the old faceplate here. And then I'll remove the lamps. So I'll leave that right there. And then we have these lamps here. So these are actually LED retrofit bulbs that I put in. They are not traditional LED retrofits. They're these red lamps. And the reason I choose these is it kind of, first of all, doesn't disrupt the faceplate because a lot of bulbs will damage the diffuser. But also it just kind of gives that nice glow that you'd like to see in an exit sign. Now for this particular sign, which is a Dual-Light Exquisite RG combo, you unscrew this top compartment screw to get to the battery. And I always disconnect the battery and take it out, which obviously is important. So this is the battery right here. I always date my batteries, which is important. So that way you know when's the last time they were charged. But now this unit, if you have not taken out the power source or disconnected the breaker, you ought to do that now. We'll go ahead and undo these Wago tabs to undo the wiring, and then I'll go ahead and unscrew these two screws. Today I'm going to be installing the LHQM LED, a green all LED exit sign combo, so we're going to go ahead and get this up. So obviously you're going to need to punch out two knockouts for whatever back box you're using and then punch out a hole for the wiring to go through. So I've went ahead and put the unit on the wall. I put the wires through the hole and I'm just tightening these screws now. Go ahead and connect these. Exit sign wiring connections are really wicked simple. So white goes to neutral and then black to black, obviously. I'm going to reuse these Wagos. A lot of people do falsely claim that Wagos start fires, which they really don't. And also this is an exit sign, which is like a 1-watt device. So it's really not going to pull very much at all. Make sure to tuck the wiring connections in a way where it won't obstruct the faceplate, and also make sure you actually connect the battery or else the battery backup will not function in emergency mode. And then after that, you go ahead and just put on the faceplate. You can punch out any arrows you might need, but in this situation, this is the exit, so I'm just gonna push this on. And then of course, adjust these lamps wherever you need them. Next, I'm going to swap out this incandescent AC only sign. So the sign I'm going to be using here is this Surelights red/green exit sign. You can select which color you want. Obviously in this application, I'm going to be using the green faceplates and setting, but let's go ahead and put this up. So this sign also has these LED retrofit bulbs. It's a little loose, clearly, but you can see that these are green and they have these green filaments inside. At this point, the power is off, so it's time to go ahead and start removing this. So I'm just going to start loosening this nut right here. Went ahead and popped out the side mount cap because we are going to be side mounting this. And then also I popped off the back cover because we're going to be using this double face. Went ahead and fed these cables through the canopy and then through the mounting plate, and then I just wired it up. So now I'm going to go ahead and secure this bracket to the wall. So now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and feed these cables all the way back into the sign if I can. And I'm going to put this sign onto this canopy by snapping it in place. Make sure to plug in that battery. In this case, the exit is that way, so I'm going to pop out this chevron arrow. I always have a little tip, and that's to tape any pieces you take out of the sign onto the inside. I store the arrow in this compartment, and that's because you don't want to lose these pieces in the event you need them later. So that's looking good, and now I'm going to go ahead and take care of this unit. So I'm going to replace this with a Lithonia ELMLT high output emergency light. This unit releases with these two screws right here, so I'm going to go ahead and undo those. So I'm going to have to punch out a couple knockouts on this unit. Punch the knockouts out. Basically, you just put them over a piece of tape or something and use a screwdriver and hammer to pound them out. Really simple and easy to wire, so I push these back up and just screw this bracket onto the wall. This unit is actually high output, so it could run remote heads, but I don't have any obviously, so this will just be a really long lasting unit. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the battery and then snap this unit right onto the mounting bracket, and then go ahead and adjust these lamps. Now that's good, so let's go ahead and move on. I'll be replacing these two units with All Pro units. So I have the All Pro LED red/green sign. Of course, I'll be choosing green. And then I have a All Pro APEL LED emergency light. So let's go ahead and get those up. This unit can just be popped open with your hands, and of course there's 2 batteries inside, so I'll just go ahead and disconnect those. Battery compartment for this sign is behind here, so let's go ahead and pop off this panel here. You can pop off the faceplate here and see that there are these same LED retrofit bulbs inside. I forgot to show the wiring connections, but it's exactly the same as everything else. So of course, last step is to plug in the battery and then put the faceplate on. Did the wiring connections, you can see it is receiving power. I didn't plug in the battery, which is why it's doing this, but let's go ahead and get this mounted to the bottom. This is the last unit I'll be replacing, and I'm gonna use this Morris green LED exit sign combo. This is one of those swivel combos. It is technically generic, but it is pretty good quality, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the faceplate from this sign, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove that battery. Now I'm unscrewing this canopy. You really should turn off power before working on things, but I am gonna go ahead and do this live. Obviously, for top mount installation, we are going to have to swivel these heads down to the sides. We'll go ahead and remove this faceplate, and we're going to use this canopy right here. Ready to go ahead and wire this thing up, so we'll just put these into the Wagos. I'm going to go ahead and connect this battery up, test it, works good. Put the faceplate on, and that'll be it. Everything's now installed and functional. I really do like how everything is now one uniform color instead of a bunch of different colors. So you can see that this emergency light here is functioning good. This sign here is nice and bright. That good LED legend. If we go over to this sign, it's nice and lit. This sign's working great, and this emergency light is still doing this even though the battery is plugged in, because the battery does need to charge a little bit, but after about 24 hours, it'll go back to normal. I'm gonna go ahead and just shut off the power to demonstrate how everything works. So of course in this room we don't have emergency lighting yet because this unit does need to charge, but this exit sign works great. This ELMLT is doing a fantastic job. You can see it has quite a high capacity lumen output. It's comparable to other high output units that are really good quality, like the EVHC, but you can see that the lamps really do spread the light very effectively. The lenses do that well. Over here, the LHQM LED is also putting up quite a decent fare. You can see that this entire area is lit up pretty well. Now the light is a little colder from this one, but again, it's emergency lighting. All that really matters is that you can see. Over here, this LPX is doing a great job, of course, providing a nice exit glow to direct you towards the exit. And here, it looks like this lamp isn't part of the circuit that I turned off. You can see that this unit is also lit. This has the coldest emergency lighting color temperature by far. You can just kind of compare. You can see this is more of a warmer white, whereas this is like a almost bluish light, but again, it doesn't matter because all it really needs to do is just light the area up. But yeah, that's that. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.